Hello everybody, I'm That One Cat, and welcome back to another episode of Drawing is Hard. And today we're going to be talking about ASMR, that weird thing where people are whispering and speaking softly. What is it all about? Why do they do that? Why are they so close to the camera and staring into my soul? Maybe a little bit before I started doing YouTube was when I first discovered ASMR videos, and I think, like a lot of people, the first person they discovered was Gentle Whispering, or Maria. She was the first person, to my knowledge, to really make videos that were specifically for ASMR. They were specifically titled ASMR. I mean, before that, there was videos on YouTube that were ASMR related, but they were sort of like accidental or unintentional, like they really weren't meant to be ASMR, but I stumbled upon her videos and I was just shocked because I thought I was the only person who had this sort of feeling, because it's something that's really difficult to talk to about with other people, because it's, how do you explain it? I know a lot of people explain it as like tingles or something like that, but you can't go up to someone and be like, yeah, I feel tingles when someone whispers to me. They're gonna think you're either psychotic or you have some sort of neurological disorder or something. So as someone who suffers from a lot of stress and anxiety, ASMR videos are a really good way to relax and just de-stress, and even sometimes help you sleep when you can't sleep. They're just a nice kind of content, you know, from the rest of YouTube that's loud and obnoxious and in your face. It's a very different type of content. Now, if you're thinking, Kat, what are you talking about? What's with all this whispering and soft-spoken stuff? I don't understand. What is this? What is ASMR? I love when I hear people say ASMR. It just sounds so mystical and also really stupid. ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which, as far as I'm concerned, that means literally nothing. I think it's just mumbo jumbo that they put together because it just sounds really good. But I don't think it has any sort of like medical or scientific implication to anything. I could be wrong. I didn't really do my research, but as far as I understand, it doesn't really mean anything. It just sounds fancy. So today, as we dive into the wonderful world of ASMR, I figured I would draw two of my many favorites, because I have a lot of favorites, so it was hard to like narrow down which ones to draw, but I chose FredsVoice ASMR and Tingting ASMR. Gentle Whispering was probably the first person that I saw on YouTube who did ASMR specifically, but I think one of the early ones was definitely FredsVoice ASMR, or as he was called back then, ASMR Gains, before he transformed into the son of Odin that he is now. Out of any community on YouTube, it's so amazing to see how this community of ASMRtists has just evolved and grown. I mean, I remember seeing some of these first videos that these people make when they're like filming it with their Virgin Mobile flip phone in like 2040p in their spooky looking basement with their shitty Apple earpod microphone, and just seeing like these really lo-fi, just low budget kind of like whispering videos. It was like this weird like black market kind of thing going on. To now, it's like to see it just like rapidly evolve. Like everyone's always trying to like grow and like borrow ideas and like innovate and just evolve this community into something more. Like to see how it started from just like tapping videos, like people are like tapping on stuff and like whispering and whatnot, to now it's like full-on role plays with like costumes and CGI and backgrounds and green screens, and some like people use like prosthetics and stuff. Like it's amazing to see people get that much into it. Like it's almost like its own indie filmmaking community. Another two ASMR artists that I absolutely love are ASMR Latte and Phoenician Sailor. I mean, like a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just make a background that's just like CGI that they took from somewhere, but these two will just they'll create their own background, like this whole set with all these individual little intricate bits and things over here, and just like all these, it just looks like you're actually in the place that they're trying to convince you that the role play takes place in. I mean, like Phoenician Sailor, like he, from head to toe, like he's like method, like he's like a method actor, like he gets into the role and he has all these things, all these little intricate details in the background, and it's not CGI, it's not a green screen, like he is physically in the space that he's filming in, and I like that because it just gives it a more it gives it added depth. Like it makes it feel like they're really there and you're really there. So I chose this reference for the Tingting drawing because out of all the role plays, some of my favorite are the gaming store role plays, because I love it because it takes something that's usually very stressful and annoying and makes it very enjoyable. I don't know if you're like me, but I've had many horrible experiences at GameStop, and I actually made an animation about it. If you want to go check that out, I'll put the link down below. There's supposed to be a part 2. One day maybe I'll come out with a part 2. I don't know. Maybe if you guys maybe it gets more views and people like it and they want to see a part 2, I'll make a part 2. But for me personally, I've had horrible experiences at GameStop. You know, I watch these gaming store role plays and they're super friendly and it's just like a nice environment. They're polite. They inform you about the games, and it just feels like what a GameStop or gaming store should feel like, right? I'm not gonna get sponsored by GameStop now, but I've had so many horrible experiences of going into GameStop where the person behind the counter is just insane, like actually insane, like an actual crazy person. I remember when I went in there one time and I was trading in Arkham Asylum, and the guy asked me, "Well, what did you think of it? Why?" He was like really excited that I played Arkham Asylum. And I said, well, I didn't beat it because I kind of lost interest in it, which is the truth. I just lost interest in it. I didn't want to beat it. He got like genuinely upset. He was like mad. He almost like didn't want to accept it. I think he even said that. He's just like, oh, I shouldn't even take this because you should beat it first. It's such a great game. I don't know, like, what's wrong with you that you didn't finish this? I'm like, that's something that you want to tell your customers when they come in. What's wrong with you? That's a good way to get them to come back, is question their judgment on reality. I don't remember what I got with the credit for it, or the whole like $2 that they probably gave me, but I remember I brought it up there and he got even more mad that I traded in Arkham Asylum to get the game that I forgot what it was. It was like an RPG or something, and he was like even more frustrated that I was trading in this like it was almost like I was giving him like a diamond for like popsicle sticks or something. He's just like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, dude, I'm giving you business. Just take the game and give me my game, Jesus. So that's why I like these role plays so much, is because they're, you know, it's a nice transaction. It's nice people being nice to you, and I think that's something that we don't have a whole lot of in society, is people just being genuinely nice to each other. So I think that's another reason why I like ASMR videos so much, is because people are nice, they're friendly. Now ASMR has grown to be this really big thing that it's in itself has so many like little intricate niches of different genres and things of ASMR, different types of ASMR. And for the most part, I think they're all pretty good, but there's two that I don't understand. That's the eating ones and the bitchy ones, the bitchy role plays. Eating ones are pretty self-explanatory. It's basically someone just with their face way too close to the microphone eating something really it's always like the most disgusting stuff too. It's not like eating a chocolate bar. It's eating just like I don't know, just the most disgusting, slimy, crunchy shit that they could find. Like they just lift up their couch and they're like, yeah, this looks good, and they just start eating it. Oh my god, who finds that relaxing? What is wrong with you? Seek help. Like, if you find like that, I feel like universally mouth noises, like eating noises, like that's why they tell you to eat with your mouth closed. I feel like universally that's like a disgusting sound. Like who likes that? Who's the guy who's watching that? Why are they making it for this guy? It's just one dude. Just one dude who's watching it a million times. And then the other one is the bitchy ones. The bitchy, meaning like it's someone who's being rude to you. It's always a role play where it's usually someone who's like, you know, working at Starbucks or McDonald's or, you know, whatever. It's the person waiting on you who's being incredibly rude to you. I don't know who finds that. I can go outside and find that anywhere, someone being an asshole. I don't know why that's a role play. Why is that a genre of a relaxation thing? You know, if you're out there and you find that relaxing, let me, like, why? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Like, same thing with the eating noises. If you find that relaxing, what the hell's wrong with you? I want to know. I'm intrigued. Like, let me in on that world. I want to know what you're seeing in this that I'm not seeing. Another interesting thing with the ASMR role plays is the way that they're structured. Like, a lot of videos are just people making noises, people like doing something with their hands, or like they're not really engaging specifically with you. They're just sort of like doing something and it's meant to relax you. But the role plays are structured so that they actually are engaging with you, and sometimes they'll ask you questions where they leave a pause for you to answer. And it's I do like that because it's a little bit more realistic and it makes it feel a little bit more like a natural conversation, but it's weird sometimes because they'll ask a question and you're sort of like dozing off, like, you know, you're feeling ASMR vibes and you're starting to fall asleep. But then there's that awkward silence after they ask a question, and it's almost like falling asleep in school, you know, when like the teacher calls on you and you feel like that awkward silence of like, oh shit, no one's talking. Did I miss something? Like you sort of like jolt awake. At least I get that sometimes, where I'll be falling asleep and I just hear like, and I'm like, what? Just like, what did I miss? And I look and I see them just like staring at me and I'm like, oh, I missed the question. Back up. As much shit as me and a million other people give YouTube, it's pretty amazing that it's a place where you can have a passion for something and have an interest in something, and you can turn that into a job. Like you can turn that into a full-time living. And it's wild to me to think that some people are making a living off of whispering to strangers. I mean, career day must be really strange for their kids. Well, that's it for today on Drawing is Hard. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and be sure to go check out some ASMR channels. It's a weird and wonderful community that's constantly growing, and I think it's got something for everybody, so I'm sure you can find something that you're interested in, and you can just Google whatever and just add ASMR to it. I'm sure there's a video that someone's made about it. Also, be sure to check out my comic, Choose Your Class. It's available on Webtoon for free. The link is down below. You can also see all my artwork on Instagram, which is also down below. And if there's anything you'd like to see me talk about on Drawing is Hard and you'd like to see me attempt to draw, please let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.